Welcome back, everyone. Hope everyone's staying safe, well, and warm. Trying to get through it today while not just appreciating the things that I'm good at. But appreciating the things that I have no business attempting, or the areas that I'm weak. What I mean by that is I had a friend going through something last night, and I showed up just trying to be a friend. What are you doing? You crazy? Little hellion. Just because it's your first heat. Alright, so I tried to kind of be there. I guess I've succeeded in that endeavor. But makes me realize there are times where words just aren't enough. They're not likely to get the point across. Grab my drink. When someone's mourning, someone's going through a very difficult situation, there's only so much words will do. I can wax poetic and weave together some really elegant sayings, but it's only going to do so much in a moment. I think it's important to be willing to show up, but even more important maybe is to know when to stop talking. Know how much to say, how much to try to relate to somebody. Get her a little more food. She's not all the way out, but she's out enough. It's been that was not the first time I've learned that lesson, but if I'd learned it better the first time, I wouldn't have had to learn it again. Then several times I've tried to comfort someone, and there's only so much. Like, I try to avoid advice, but then there's just those people that you're not called to help out. You can't help everybody. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. Had some experience with custody battles growing up, so I thought, like, you know what, this person's going through a rough time with that. I might be able to give them some insight from the child's perspective, which typically wouldn't be bad practice, but if they're not willing to get, like, transparent with themselves, they're not going to get transparent with me. I've got I'm going to call it a pro and a con. Trying to help people out in such a way I'm not willing to sit with you and pretend that everything's cool when everything's not. I'm the guy who sits with you and helps you establish an actual plan. So, okay, what are you dealing with now? What actually works for the next thing? And if your next plan is one in error, if it's just a bad plan, if it doesn't have any positivity coming from it, no sound results, I'm not gonna jump off the diving board into a toxic swimming pool with you just because that's where you want to be in this difficult time. And I don't know if that's a pro or a con, really, in all circumstances. It's I guess, like I've been saying, we need all kinds. What I mean by that is, I know those people. I know plenty of people who would be thrilled to sit there with you and drink or smoke or do whatever that helps you forget about your current pain. I can do that for a time if you've got a plan already in motion, but if you're actively in the middle of it and you need to do things, you need to act, I'm gonna push you more toward acting than pretending it's not going on. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And somebody's mourning, that's one thing. You can only do so much there. One.
I drank that little bit of that juice.
15, 16, 18, 20, 1, 3, 4, 8, 9,
There's pediatrics going to the doctor.
We'll say there's a lot of value in just holding space, though. When someone's going through something difficult, being able to sit there and say absolutely nothing. That's what's necessary sometimes, I think. being able to sit there and just hold space and let them say, or let them know, like, I'm here for you. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Whew. Time to turn the fan on. We're at 21. 2, 3, 4, 5. Cool. Maybe dips. Get away from there, you little hugging.
Here. Here.
I guess. Spent a lot of time deep in thought lately until my life is sorted out better. I've cut out a lot of things that I really enjoy. However, I have jumped the gun on a lot of things. Like, I've tried to do jobs that just not ready for. So I'm not. It's. I try to lie to myself a lot, saying, I'm healed enough. It's time to get going. But it's been. Past couple of days showed me all I did was drive a little more than I have been, really, and it's like I felt it on several parts of my leg. So it takes me to the next thing that I was really thinking about. It's really been on my mind this morning, is that you gotta take time to heal. You gotta take time to rest. I'm not a Seventh Day Adventist, but I hear that they are really big on maintaining the Sabbath. It's the day that God gave us to rest, and on average, they live about 6 years longer than the people that don't, than the people around them. That had me thinking about a whole lot, not least of which was how many heartbeats we have. I've read somewhere that they were talking about all the exercises and everything. I do this for general wellness, so my body stays moving. Like stretches would probably be even better, but we'll play around with that later. This may have been a post on Facebook or maybe even MySpace, who knows. They said you only have so many heartbeats. If you really want to live longer, take a nap. That's something that I've thought about a decent little bit. The fact that the people that take one day a week to rest and to heal from the rest of the week live 5 or 7 years longer than people that don't. It's really hard to argue with numbers like that. Well, I guess we're here for the. Oh wait, no, I just did the second set of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 2, 3, 4, 5. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, what, I will do another set of push-ups or sit-ups because I'm not sure if I'm confusing the first set with the second. And I would rather do 3 than do 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cool. All right, guys. That's another day of exercises done. One more set. It's worth a lot to show up every day. But let's try to make sure that we're getting all the rest that we need to, while we remember that it's always a good day to have a good day.